Hello, everybody. I'm Anita Malcolm. I know Mary gave a quick introduction about me. Just to add on to it, I love to eat dark chocolate. Love to wake up early and see the sunrise, but I do the eating of the dark chocolate more than I do the getting up early part. And the things that I enjoy doing, I love architecting simple solutions, like writing clean code. But the things that I am bad at is I have a bad sense of direction. And if it were not for cell phones and GPS, I would be getting lost all the time. So the reason that's funny is that the domain I work for is intelligent transportation systems. So when I heard that the theme for Java's 25th year was Our World Moved by Java, I feel it's really true for our product. We are a transportation software company. And the thing that I enjoy most about the software is that I see it at work and I use it every day. For those of you using expressways, highways to get to work, you would see the message signs that are on the road. And it is our software that calculates travel times, that senses, detects congestion, and posts those messages on the sign. For those of you using I-90, you would see the lane control signs that are on top of the road. Again, it's our software. Another cool thing is that we have both Java Swing. Yes, we still use Java Swing. We have a Java Swing application, and then we do have a browser application. And because of the different clients, we have deployments on Oracle database, Postgres, SQL Server, and so I'm constantly learning new things every day. I've been in my company for more than 10 years, and during the course of my career, I've always evaluated myself to see if, what I'm doing, is it still relevant, if I am still giving value, providing value to my workplace. And that's the experience I wanted to share with you, finding relevance. 5 cues that will help you bring value to your workplace and make you do it well, right? And so that leads to my first cue. Whatever task we do, be it a spreadsheet, a document, whatever we are updating, right? Even if you're creating a report for your users, take pride in what you're doing and do it well. And the key to doing that is to know the product that you're working on, know the industry, and know the user of your product, right? Whether it's a software, know your user who's going to use the software. If it's a report, the person who's going to look at it. And that'll help you make it relevant to the users. And sometimes because what you think is the expectation is not really what they want. So knowing how they are going to use it helps you to do your job well. And the next cue is keeping our skills updated. For those of us in technology, that is without saying, we have to keep up with the trends. And not just, and the thing I would encourage you is to brush up your skills, not just in the technology that you're using, but learn something new. And the reason I say it, right, some years back, because we use databases and we are a small team, so we don't really have a DBA. So I had to troubleshoot an issue with Postgres, some performance issues that we were having. And so I looked online to see how I could, or whom I could reach out to. And that's when I found this whole concept of meetups. Mary was saying that, some of us who are living in the suburbs, we are not constantly exposed to meetups. And I honestly did not know of their existence. And then I found out about Chicago Java User Group. And I still remember the very first time I went to a Java user group. I did not understand any of the terms. I was not familiar with any of them. I was doubting whether it was really Java because I realized that, I was not working in any of those technologies and I had failed to keep myself updated. That was a few years back. But then that motivated me to subscribe, whether it's podcasts or, come to these meetups. And though I'm in the suburbs, I've made it a point at least once a month to attend a meetup and to see what's out there. And it even helps you, learn new things and apply it in your job. And I remember when I first listened to a meetup talk on streams, it was so much easier for me to use streams after I listened to that talk. And then certifications, like Mary mentioned, at that time, our work was not using cloud technologies yet, but I knew that I had to learn it. And certification was a goal, right, that I had so that I could brush up my skills. I could see what's there. And being a person that I just can't memorize and go get a certificate, I had to be hands-on on it. So that was a motivation for me to learn cloud technologies and to try it out and see how it works. So that I would encourage you to not just limit yourself to the technology that you're using at your work, but to step out and to learn something different. And the reason it helps you is that, and that leads up to my next point, it gives you the confidence to speak up, right? I feel in general there are two types of people. There are the babbling brooks and the Dead Sea, right? And I think I'm more of a Dead Sea. I take in everything, but I don't speak out as much. But I realize people are not mind readers, right? At a meeting, unless you speak up, they will not know what you bring to the table, right? And the key, and along with that comes to listen well, right? And to get feedback from the people whom you work with. And even when you're stuck, like I mentioned, when I was having issues with Postgres, reaching out to the meetup, I realized that there are people out there who have gone through similar issues and they are glad to share their expertise with the rest of us. And the key to that is, to be confident in what you bring to the table. Again, I want to narrate an incident, and this was again several years back. I was just about getting ready to go on maternity leave, and so I was planning to be out for 3 months. And I was talking about this with a friend of mine who's not even in software, and she said, hey, I should tell you, this is the best time for you to go and ask for a raise. And I looked at her and I said, you got to be kidding. I am just going to take 3 months off and you're telling me this is the best time to go ask for a raise. And she said, why don't you try it? If it works, it works. Otherwise, you have nothing to lose. And it took all of me. I went to my manager and made a feeble attempt in presenting my case. And then, of course, the next week I was gone. And you wouldn't believe it. 2 months into my maternity leave, I get a call from my manager, and he said, hey, just wanted to let you know, whatever you ask, we are willing to give you. Can you please help us out with this task that we have? If you can spend a few hours, that would help. And I couldn't help. I was glad it was a phone call and he couldn't see me. But I realized that most often we're not confident enough that the skills we have and the contribution we make, that we can be confident in speaking up and being sure that we would be heard. And so I would really encourage, and especially for those who listen more than they speak, to voice your opinion and to reach out. And for those who are on the other side, right, who are leaders already, this is one thing that I have really seen in action, and I want to give a big shout out to my manager, Benny William, and that's a picture of some of our team members. She, all the things that I'm sharing on this slide, I have seen and she's one of my managers. I've seen her do it in practice, and that has helped us a lot. Even this conference, it was an ITS, it was a transportation conference. She made sure that her team members had an opportunity to attend that conference. And we learned so much of the industry trends and the current necessities of transportation through that conference. She made sure that we attended meetings as, with the clients. And though sometimes we are not willing, and she would say, the client needs to see the people who are actually making the product possible. She would make a big deal, even if it's a small success. She would make it a big deal. She would make sure the rest of the company knew about it. And the best part was, and sometimes as developers, we make mistakes, we mess up. She would shield us from there, and she would take the blame for it. And believe me, as part of a team who works for a leader like that, your team will go above and beyond to make sure the team succeeds when the leader leads like that. And so having said that, I want to address another phase, right? Sometimes we can go all out. Sometimes we can spend the extra time brushing up our skills and making sure we are aware of industry trends. But sometimes life happens, right? Maybe we've just had a baby, and sometimes we are caregivers, especially in the season where most of us are remote. We are now handling additional roles, being teachers, being caregivers. And the thing is to extend grace, whether it's you're the one who's going through that phase or if it's someone else in your team, to know that there are seasons, just like the seasons in life. There's a season where you go all out, and there's a season where you step back and where other things become priorities. And just like the seasons of the year, it's good to embrace each season for what it brings, and not let high expectations burn you out. And so these are some of the learnings that have helped me bring value to my workplace. To again cap it, whatever job we do, to do it well and take pride in it, to never stop learning, to speak up, be confident, and when we are leaders, to share the spotlight, and again to show grace for people going through a different season in their life. And thank you for listening. I hope this was useful to you. And thank you, Mary, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Anita. Yeah, that is very good. Yeah, good.